time. It is time to review The Bastards by PALAYE ROYALE. And let me tell you, it is a ride. But before I get started, a quick little disclaimer as the world is going to shits right now. And not only are we amidst a global pandemic, but there are some serious issues of inequality, injustice, and racism. And none of these issues are new. And if you've been anywhere online or have watched the news or anything, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And I think it's just really important that everyone speaks up and uses their voice, even if you think it doesn't make a difference. Not saying anything in a way can be complying with those doing the injustice. So speak up, be that in your family, be that with your friends, be that online, just do something and don't stay silent. And what I think is great is seeing so many bands, so many artists, so many individuals really do it this time, step up, use their voice, protest, share, donate, educate themselves. That is the least you can do, educate yourself about the issues, because at least then you can form a proper opinion and take proper action. And yeah, I just wanted to say that before I get started. Track number 9, Nightmares. This is probably one of my top 3 tracks of the entire album. I think it's so incredibly good. It starts off with this 40-second long build where you have, first you have one guitar come in, then you have a second guitar come in, and they're like distorted a little bit. Then you have the ticking of the drums come in. Then this kind of build, you have a lot of instruments going on there. They're very loud, they're very angry, they're very intense. Then they take some of that off. Then there is like this moment where you almost just have bass and a bit of drums, and then the vocals come in, and the vocals have this echo effect on them that almost makes it seem like he's sitting in a big room, or like it's thoughts echoing in your head. Once again, this kind of evokes a really strong imagery in me. I see this person that is sitting in a darkened room. They're sitting like in the corner of a darkened, big, large, huge darkened room. And there's just like a little bit of light shining on them, and they're sitting there cradling their knees, going back and forth, maybe going through their hair a little bit as if they were trying to kind of comb out the thoughts that they have in their head, the madness, like getting rid of it, like stop, shut up, like these voices in my head, they need to go. That is the kind of image I have during this. My dreams become my nightmares, my mind won't go to sleep. So I embrace the terror, my soul is yours to keep. Coming down, coming down. So basically, this also covers the aspect of insomnia due to anxiety, due to fear, depression, whatever, due to darkness. And instead of trying to push away this darkness, there's this, so I embrace the terror, like the terror that is washing over me. I take that and I put it into something. I put it into something creative. And I feel like that is the kind of terror to an extent that went into this album, and that is literally what they are saying right there. Then the bridge, I just quickly want to talk about that. I try just not to think about my life, so I do another line. It keeps me numb just for the night. So I do another line, it keeps me numb just for the night. I would assume, and it's pretty obvious, that this is about drugs, about cocaine. The bridge is almost musically, almost peaceful. It is a lot calmer. And I think that also reflects the lyrics, because it keeps me numb just for the night. It keeps me numb just for the night. So basically we have the music drain out a little bit, because the terror drains out a little bit due to taking this line, but just for the night. And then the nightmares begin as soon as he starts dreaming, as soon as he starts sleeping. So really there is no escape from this terror. So moving on to track number 10, which is Masochist. Masochist? I think I just pronounced it very German. I actually heard that track live almost a year ago, the first time when I saw PALAYE ROYALE at the Fireback in Munich. like hearing the studio version now is such a different sensation to what it was live. Like live it was already really interesting, but now you can actually dive into it a lot more because the lyrics are a lot more understandable, and I know Masochist has been out there for quite a bit, and many fans that know Palais Royale well were very excited for it because obviously you've heard it live or you've seen videos of it live. What I really like about this is the beginning where you have like the guitar, the very minimal guitar that sounds very haunting, and then there's this one drum moment that's like this, and that is almost like a thunder, like a door slapping closed, like this little scare that you have. And in the background you have this siren kind of sound, and then the drums turn into the steady ticking, just the cymbals. This whole song kind of feels like a demon creeping. I don't know if that's just me, but that's kind of the vibe I get from it. And that's why there's like this intensity of staring into your soul. Like I feel like Remington's vocals within this whole thing, it feels like he is right there staring right into your soul, knowing your most inner darkest desires. It's really creepy in a way, but it's so cool that a song could do that. Meaning wise, I'm still kind of debating whether this song is about a toxic relationship maybe, or it is, or like a toxic person, or it is about actual drugs, or maybe both. Could be both, because you have the which in a way indicates drugs. My mind that bleeds through you, I'll cut glass in sheets of lies. That is like the moments where I'm like, this could be about a person. And what I also think is so interesting about this song is that it ends with a chorus, because it leaves this lingering thought, because you've got to hold on. Yeah, you've got to hold on. Similar to Masochist, I think Doom is a kind of song that has this haunting quality to it, also due to the way they use the instrumentals, because here they are not highly complex. The sound is actually simple. It is talking about empty, and that is kind of in that way reflected by the music. And so does his voice, his vocals. In a way they also have that echo going for them, which is why I have this picture of this huge old dark stone cathedral with like a broken roof. You have like a bit of the dimmering sunlight from the outside shining just like a little bit, and him lying on the floor kind of on the cross style, like arms out, legs down, just looking up, seeing him, and the camera kind of comes down and is just like twisting around him, if that makes any sense. That is kind of the image that I get from this whole thing. There's like this haunting church and the choir singing, this haunted choir of dark demons that have taken every bit of light from his soul, and now there's just nothing left. He's coming out to get me. Man in black is getting angry, come to collect what I owe him. The devil will be disappointed. He's obviously going to hell because he says the devil will be disappointed. Why will the devil be disappointed? Because he's empty. There is nothing left. The soul is already gone. Moving on to track number 12, Black Sheep. And this is probably within my top 3 of the entire album. I think this song is incredibly well done, incredibly well executed. And it kind of picks up the mood, the spirit a little bit again of the album, because obviously Masochist, Doom was like really dark. And this one's kind of, yeah, uplifting it a little bit again. And the instrumentals are actually released in the pre-chorus. And that is really what helps build up the tension of the song, because then the chorus kind of washes over you, like this full on, just like. Another interesting part of the song is actually, or like the instrumentals of the song, is the bridge, because here we have a definite pickup of pace, which also picks up the vibe. It makes this intensity even more prominent. This song also has a strong dramatic build, which I think starts in the pre-chorus. We have, and I am sinking now, because the water's over my ears and I can't hear no sound. This is kind of going under in this darkness that is starting to take you over. Scream out or drown. Can you hear the voices now? Go home and back to sleep and count the black sheep. The scream out or drown is kind of showing you still have a choice. If you say something now, you won't go under. Lay down your head. This is how you've made your bed. Go away from me. I am the black sheep. First of all, count the black sheep is almost like, okay, count the demons, count the darkness, and then this I am the black sheep is once again embracing this by becoming one of it. But then also we have the imagery and symbolism of the black sheep being the black sheep within your family and within your friend group, within society. So as we are nearing the end of this album, let's talk about track 13, Stay. This again has a very different mood than the other ones, and I would say this is the closest thing we have on this album to a ballad. It is a half hopeful, half hopeless, especially the first verse almost sounds hopeful. I see you for what you are. It's something in your eyes that looks past my scars. So where do you go when you leave in the night? Cause I see those teary eyes. The I see you for what you are definitely shows like I see your true self. I can look through your darkness. I can look through that wall you've built up. You can look past my scars. You can see I'm more than that, more than what I've gone through. So where do you go when you leave in the night? Because I can see those teary eyes. So obviously someone's kind of leaving and they are asked to stay. I just wanted you. You're the only hope for me too. I am the only hope for you. I just read that backwards, by the way. And then, so stay this time, don't go away. So stay this time. Basically asking them like, don't leave me alone again, just stay here because we are each other's saviors. And through this entire song, I have the scenery in my head of two people lying in a meadow. This is gonna sound weird, but almost like that scene from Twilight, where Edward and Bella are lying in this big meadow. Like a very similar image pops up in my head, just definitely not Edward and Bella. They are together in this moment and they are there for each other, but then one of them has to leave. What I think is also instrumentally interesting about the song is that we have a very strong and prominent bass here that draws you in, and it's not the drums that kind of keep the heartbeat of the song going this time, but it's the bass, which is also why it is less intense, less in your face than the other ones, and kind of supports this ballad character of it. Once again, the song ends in the chorus, and this is the most intense the chorus gets throughout the entire song. And the intensity kind of goes into this very nice outro with the violin that almost makes it seem like there could be a happy end. Like it gives you hope. There's like light at the end of the tunnel. And like for this light at the end of the tunnel, I have this image of the two people that were so in the struggle of can they stay together. I have them embrace. And then once kind of the track finishes, you have this person wake up. So it was all just a dream and they are alone in their bed because once again, the other person didn't stay as they were asked to do. Track 13, Redeemer. And what can I even say about this track? But that is absolutely heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I had tears in my eyes the first time I listened to this because alone the lyrics here on my own with the revolver and the note, like, because it almost feels like you're so close to being able to stop someone that's about to commit suicide, but then you can't stop them. They're gonna do it. Like they're already ready. They're about to, but then it's like that moment right before that they feel like managed to capture in this song in a heart-wrenchingly beautiful way. Also because this song has a lot of piano in it and it has this cinematic build, a little similar to Stay, though this one is definitely more like hopeless compared to Stay, especially at the end, the violin. That's why this song is one of the reasons why I say this album is a cinematic masterpiece, because it has that build, it has that build up, and then it kind of stops, and then you have this really kind of compared to the rest of the song, they have this very long outro that is just the piano, and in a way that makes you feel like, okay, where the violin was going right after the last chorus finishes, that is where the suicide was committed, and then like it lingers, like the afterthought, the consequences of it linger while the piano is still going. And according to Alt Press, this song is about the death of Lil Peep. I think it was Remington that says that it was, yeah, it was Remington that says that it was about his death. And I think this is an absolutely beautiful tribute because this song will connect with so many people out there. Now I want to talk about the lyrics a little more because I think they are one of the best ones on the album as well. In the pre-chorus you can really see the hopelessness and that the person has figured out that their life doesn't have any meaning to them. Now I'm caught in something, my eternal suffering probably being life. Looking for a meaning of it all, but I got nothing. This eternal sadness, now I fade to blackness. Don't know where I go when I die, must be better than this. Seeing death as a solution, now I fade into blackness, at least it's no more suffering. I just love that kind of play on words and meaning that there is. And the chorus, oh my word, that is like capturing this moment right before they kill themselves. And I'm here just waiting for you to come home. That is almost saying in a way like, come home, see what I'm about to do and stop me. It is almost like, stop me from ending this, stop me from ending my eternal suffering, but at the same time it's like, you're not going to come, nothing's gonna happen, no one is gonna stop me. And it's like this realization that sinks in, that just hits you so hard. And I'm screaming all on my own with the revolver and the note, like the gun and the goodbye note. Will you please pick up the phone? And I'm waiting for you to come home, and I'm screaming all on my own with the revolver and the note. Will you please come back home? They are all on their own. That's why I feel like this is a very nice track to follow Stay, because Stay is about being left by somebody, and this is in a way almost seems like the consequence, like after they lost the last thing that was important to them, like a person. After that kind of last block of stability and sanity is gone, there is nothing to stop suicide. And in verse 2 of the song, I think there's like a really nice nod to Nightmares. So I do another line, it keeps me numb just for the night, it keeps me numb just for the night. That is very similar to Nightmares in a way, kind of trying to find this escape from everything, from the darkness within drugs, but also highlighting that it's just for the night. The relief is just for the night, and then it's back to eternal suffering, and that there is an end to this cycle, and the only way to end that is suicide. One could say that looking at all of these songs, that in a way Palais Royale are glorifying mental issues, depression, anxiety, suicide, but I highly disagree. They are not glorifying it, they are raising awareness for it. They are showing you that if you are caught in these places, that you are not the only one. And through kind of taking you through this journey of you experiencing all of this through the music, you gain a better understanding of it, and you might open your eyes to people that suffer from that and help them, help yourself. I think this is kind of indirect, or like, yeah, an indirect way of dealing with all of this. And for me, this album is a perfect example also of music is our therapy. I find this incredibly therapeutic, and I feel like it'll be the same for many people out there. Do not be afraid to reach out, ask for help, be that someone close to you or someone completely different, because there is a solution. Okay, track 15, Lord of Lies, the bonus track of the album and the last track on the album. This, I must say, probably shows the biggest contrast in the Boom Boom Room era, where at the end of Boom Boom Room side B, we had the Ellen Watts speech, something very philosophical, something very hopeful in a way, something more upbeat, just thoughtful, lingering. We have this ball of anger, anxiety, like this gnarly, it also gets like back to that demonic almost kind of perspective, and being fed up with lies. That track within the past couple days has grown on me, because in the beginning I was like, oh my god, this is such chaos, but I've learned to love and embrace this chaos. And what I think is a really fun fact about this is that it's a one take. Basically, they recorded the instrumentals and Remington wasn't there. He was sent outside and he was able to then come back in, basically improvise the entire lyrics of this. He says it's gibberish and I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, it makes an awful lot of sense for the fact that it's just made up at the top of your head. Like, who can do that? It even is kind of cohesive. Like, the theme of this is cohesive, and I feel like it's also a nice summary of the entire album. And then, of course, like, Rem's comment at the end, like this, holy shit, just puts a smile on your face at the end of the day. It is a very nice finish to this absolute masterpiece, The Bastards. So everybody, that was it. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. I know this was another very long one and a little different from my usual reviews, but I hope you enjoyed it. And please take care of yourself. Please, please, please use your voice, and I will see you in another video to talk some more music stuff. Bye!